So then guys, we've just had the scary fast event, and at that event we've just had the M3, the M3 Pro and the M3 Max all revealed at the same time. However, how does the M3 Pro compare to the earlier in the year M2 Pro, but only came out about 8 or so 9 months ago? So what I want to do today is I want to do a comparison of the 14-inch MacBook Pro with an M2 Pro versus an M3 Pro review of specs for you today. Now, of course, you can actually put that M3 Pro into, say, the likes of the 16-inch MacBook Pro 2, but I mainly want to focus it inside the likes of, say, a 14-inch MacBook Pro. And with that, let's get started today with that review of hardware comparison. So then what we have here we have the MacBook Pro 14-inch M2 Pro on the left side, and then we have the MacBook Pro 14-inch M3 Pro, the new one, on the right side. So let's begin then. So first of all, with the display type, not much has changed again. This is the 3rd generation that we've actually got a mini LED Pro Motion display here. So there's no big differences here. Like I said, the main bodywork is the same, the displays are the same, so they're identical, and if you've used one of these displays, are absolutely incredible. If not, you're in for a great new experience wherever you are coming from. Then the actual screen sizes, they're again exactly the same. They're both 14.2 inches, a nice good size for the pros or the smaller sort of pro models for both the M2 Pro and the M3 Pro 14-inch MacBook Pros. And what this basically means is the screen resolution comes in at 3024 by 1964 for both of these models, and in relation to pixels per inch, that means 254 pixels per inch on both of the models, or 254 ppi. Moving over then to the display refresh rate, because like I said, these were a Pro Motion display, this allows them to go up to 120 Hz, so it allows the screen to refresh 120 times per second, what's absolutely amazing, and that would definitely help out with gaming, for example, especially on that M3 Pro, so that's really useful to see that here. Then moving over to the brightness and True Tone, well, both of them actually have exactly the same here. They've both got XDR 1000 nits with this. So using normal XDR, you can go up to 1000 nits. This is the kind of normal display that you would use. Using HDR, you can actually get a little bit more. I think you can get up to 1600. But both of them also have True Tone technology, but they'll definitely be bright enough for you on a good bright day to work with these machines. And then let's move on then, and this is the bit where I'm going to say it's the most controversial, and that is to do with the processor. This is to do with the M3 Pro compared to the M2 Pro. And straight away here, if you're looking at the numbers here, they look very different. In fact, it looks like the M3 Pro is worse, but I'm just going to go over the numbers first of all. So here it says that the M2 Pro obviously had 10 to 12 cores inside it, and then obviously the M3 Pro obviously have a choice of 11 or 12 cores, but the M2 Pro had 4 efficiency cores and 6 to 8 performance cores, whereas the M3 Pro has more efficiency cores, there's 6 of them now, and you only get 5 to 6 performance cores. Now straight away you're going to go, well, the M3 Pro is worse here, but Apple are guaranteeing that the performance here of the actual chipset is up to 20% faster here with the M3 Pro compared to the M2 Pro. Maybe this is to do with the 3nm die or something like this, or just efficiencies, faster clock speeds. Apple have found a way to make it quicker with using less cores. That's the only way how we're going to see how it is, but obviously we'll have to see when we get them really in our hands to see what the performance changes are. But then moving over then to the actual GPU, it's the same thing again here. The M2 Pro had the choice between 16 or 19 cores, whereas you only get a choice of 14 to 18 cores with the M3 Pro. So again, it does look like the M3 Pro is worse, but again, Apple are claiming it is faster, it is better. We've got those ray tracing abilities and things like this, the caching of 3D and things like that. It is a better chipset. That is what Apple are claiming, and I think we're going to have to really see this in real life if there are actually changes there. Then moving over to the RAM amount, the RAM actually has gone up this time. So with the M2 Pro, we got 16 or the 32GB option, where we now have with the M3 Pro, we have either the baseline of 18GB gigabytes or the choice of 36 gigabytes. So glad we have got an increase there. Then for storage, things are a little bit confusing again. Apple believe that if you're buying yourself an M3 Pro now, you won't need more than 4 terabytes of storage inside. So they only give you up to 4 terabytes, whereas with the M2 Pro, you could actually pick up to 8 terabytes with the M2 Pro. But Apple believe that's not the case anymore. And if you want to have 8 terabytes, well, you're going to have to go for an M3 Max instead. Then moving over to ports, the ports are the same on both of these machines. So we have 3 times USB-C ports. We've also got that MagSafe charger ability. And with those USB-C ports, I forgot to say, this allows you to go up to USB 4 speeds and obviously Thunderbolt 4 as well. And then you've also got HDMI, what's 2.1. You've also got an SDXC SD card slot 2, what really helps transferring all your data and bits and pieces over like that. Then after this, we've actually got the operating system. Both of them can run macOS 14, what is Sonoma, so that's no problems there. So both these machines should in theory get around about 5 to 6 years of updates. Probably the M3 Pro might get a little bit more, but not much in it, maybe an extra year's life, but still there's a lot of life in both of these machines at the moment. Then for battery life is exactly the same on these machines. Apple have managed to maintain that again, what is really, really good. So we get up to 18 hours of battery life on both the M2 Pro and the M3 Pro, and that is with obviously the 14-inch MacBooks. Then the actual charging wattage again has been retained, what's really, really good to see. They've both got 96 watts on that MagSafe charger, so it's USB-C to MagSafe. That's really good to see Apple doing that again. And then the weight is practically the same. There might be an extra tiny bit of a gram more, but nothing really what you are going to notice here with the M3 Pro compared to the M2 Pro. But overall, as a sort of a benchmark, they're both 1.5 kilograms each, what is really, really good to see. We've also got stereo speakers on both of these machines, and yes, they're both spatial audio, and that's really good to have that with that speaker system built in. Wi-Fi is also Wi-Fi 6E on both of these machines. It's a shame that Wi-Fi 7 hasn't come along yet, but it's good to see that we've got Wi-Fi 6E on both of them, so that's really good to see. And then after that, we've also got that webcam. What is that FaceTime camera? What is a 1080p one, what sits in the top of the notch on both of these machines. And then obviously the newer engine inside the M2 Pro and the M3 Pro also helps the picture be a little bit more clearer, what's really good too. Then it's the price. Now the good news is with the prices this year is that there's no changes here. So this means that you can get the base model with 512 gigabytes of storage, and then obviously the 16 gigabytes of RAM with the M2 Pro, the 18 gigabytes of RAM with the M3 Pro is exactly the same price at $1,999 US. Now obviously depending on where you are in the world, it depends on what your currency's weight is against the US dollar, is whether the prices have gone up or down. Also import taxes and other taxes too also has a big reflection on it. At the end of the day, Apple need to make the same amount of profit for every single MacBook they sell wherever it is in the world, and if the US dollar, like I said, is doing better and taxes are actually worse in your country, then this is where the prices will go up for you, sadly, in that case. But then finally, let's move over to colors, and Apple have kept 2 colors, but we've changed a bit here. So with the M2 Pro and just this one, you can have silver or space gray, but with the 14-inch M3 Pro, not the M3, just the M3 Pro, you can either pick silver or space black. So we've gone up from space grey to space black now, and that's the colour what you've been seeing here as we've been going through this presentation. And with that, guys, will you be buying yourself a new MacBook Pro? And there we have it, guys. The M3 Pro is definitely much more of a beast, as you can see, and it's also the main big change inside the 14-inch MacBook Pro and also the 16-inch MacBook Pro if you choose it for that option too. But obviously the M3 Pro does have a lot of benefits as well. Gaming is going to be far better and things like this, so there is big changes there. But honestly, in my opinion, if you own, say, an M1 Pro or even, say, an M2 Pro, I personally wouldn't upgrade, in my honest opinion, unless some of the features that were revealed today are really, really appetizing for you. But let me know your thoughts also in the comments below if you're planning on upgrading to an M3 Pro and M3 Max computer, or even just an M3 as we saw as well. I'd love to know in the comments below. And also on that note, guys, well, if you've enjoyed watching this video, please do press the like button. Also, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews, and comparisons like we've done today, make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.